There. Look it up. Well, finishing that up for our school and see who we have. I'm sure some folks have switched classes. Our last school. Here, Nathaniel. Who's Nathaniel? All right, Sacramento. Who's speaking? Sacramento. Sacramento, what shirt do you have on? Sacramento, what shirt do you have on? What shirt do you have on? Do you have a small shirt earlier? No? They were in. Virginia was who? That was you. All right. Chase was Chase. John was John. John was, all right, hold on. I got two Johns. John East. That's John East. And John Hernandez. All right. Y'all both go by John? Yes. All right. You got to remember John East and John Hernandez. All right. David. David. All right. Anna Lucia. Brianna. You go by Brianna or is it Brianna? Correct me because I'm probably going to get it wrong a couple times. Just keep telling me I got it wrong. Jacob. Jacob. Alexis. There. All right. You're up front. Let me see. Janaya. Did I say that right? Sierra. Sierra. Raul. See your face, Raul. That's Raul. Right. Caleb, one came in late. Now, today's your only freebie. So make sure you get to the bathroom. You don't get tomorrow. Logan was where? Logan. William. Right. Shanti. Roy. That's Roy. Remember I had you on seat chart? Or I didn't have you on the seat chart. Were you on the seat chart? That's where I had you? First was on. And Maya. See? Did you pick up a info sheet back? Huh? Oh, will you get one to fill it out for me? I know somebody who exercises and is a captain on the flag team is in good shape. He can get back there and back and fill out that sheet. Not bad. That's only one absence. Really? You're gonna make the handicap girl go get your sheet back? All right. right, so has everybody filled it out except for my? Are you getting out of this one?
Oh,
We're gonna fill it out.
okay.
What's surprising is you're not. All right, the rest of you, John. All right, the rest of you pass your papers to the front, and me and John your paper. This Paul needs a 504. John, you gotta get out of your seat. Somebody who gets accommodations doesn't need charges. Huh? What kind of fan blowing in here? This needs to go there. All right, did I get everybody's? All right, so apparently I found you get the board and draws all over the paper. All right. Apparently y'all can't handle some cold air. Got people all curled up in their coat and their shirts. Oh, goodness sakes, it's not that bad. All right, so welcome to physical science. Now, physical science is a two-part class. We're going to do physics and we're going to do chemistry. Roughly 11 weeks of the course will be physics and the last 7 weeks will be chemistry. So, here's some basics. All right, I'll get to know you over the course of 18 weeks. Hopefully, everybody will pass physical science and get your credit for graduation. For most of you, this will most likely be your last science credit towards graduation. And I want everybody to pass. I had very few failures last year. I had, I think, 4 or 5 out of the entire year. But I do have some, so let's try to keep that to a minimum. I hope that most of you will enjoy the class and become better science students. The class is very hands-on. There's already equipment out, and we're going to have you up and out of your seats here shortly so that you can do something with it, and we're going to do an experiment tomorrow that counts as a grade. Today, I'm not taking any grades. All right? Some of you will like the class. Some of you won't because you've predetermined that it's a science class, and you hate science. It's really not that bad. We're going to build circuits this year. We're going to do things with cars. We're going to do things with forces. We're going to work with magnets. Some of it's pretty cool. Some of it, not so much. All right. I'll get to know you over the 18 weeks. I am married. I have 2 kids. One is 13. One's almost 16. The fact that she's getting ready to get her license will free me up some in the afternoon so that I can be here. And I'm here a lot. I'm here usually 3 afternoons until 4:30, sometimes longer than that. All right. I do live here in Davidson County. This is my 28th year here at Lexington. I've done all 27 that I've done here in this classroom. I'm 3 years from being able to retire, and I love to read. So when you guys see me in the hall or if you come in the room and I'm reading on my phone, I'm not checking my messages or social media. I'm reading. I'm usually in a news something or I am reading a book. So if I'm not paying attention, you need me, tell me to put my book down because that's what I'm doing. All right, if you need to reach me, I'm going to give you a remind paper. It goes 2 ways. You can contact me and I can answer your questions, or you can just send me something or I can send y'all stuff. I actually have a website that no one ever looks at in physical science. I do record class. I don't always do it. I am going to do it this semester because I have at least 1, possibly 2 people at Jacket Academy, and they're going to need to keep up with class. Sometimes I've done it as a 2-way street so they can interact with us. I'm not doing that this semester. I'm just recording so that they can keep up with class and they can watch it at their leisure. And then I'm going to send the materials to them because they're going to have to do the labs while they're in Jacket Academy. But they're going to need the information while they're there. Okay? So I need you to be able to allow us to record. Now, all videos we've posted on the website, as will homework and things, so you can keep up with that. Class rules, be on time. On time does not mean that you necessarily have to be in your seat. If you're getting a calculator, or you're sharpening your pencil, or you're getting something from me, that is not considered tardy. If you are leaping through the door like a deer, hollering, "I'm here, Miss Wall," that's tardy. Okay? Be polite. Don't talk while I am. If a classmate's asking a question, be polite and let them ask the question. Don't laugh at them if they ask something. Sometimes people ask dumb stuff, okay? Happens all the time. I know people tell you all the time there are no dumb questions. Yeah, there are, okay? But just because you think it's dumb, or I think it's dumb, or somebody else thinks it's dumb, doesn't mean we should laugh at them, okay? Let them ask their question, and we will answer it to the best of our ability. Somebody told me last year, and it was all I could do not to laugh, all right? But I tried really, really hard. Standing here answering questions, we were talking about waves. And somebody told me that you could feel people's breath come through their cell phone when you were talking to them, that you could feel your parents' breath come out of the cell phone and feel it on your cheek when you were talking. Okay? All right? Now, be polite. Did I think that was a dumb question? Internally? Yes, I did. Okay? But did I say that? Nope. Did not. Did not laugh at all. All right? But I answered and tried to explain that it's not possible. I don't think I ever convinced the student that it's not possible, but I tried. Okay? Be prepared. Bring your stuff to class. If you don't have pencils, pens, paper, there's not a lot I can do. Now, I do keep some pencils, pens, and paper around. I tried to stock up a little bit while Walmart's got some cheap prices. But, you know, as we march towards December, I run low. I try to divide it up for fall, spring. I'm not an unlimited resource. Consequences. I give warnings. I give lunch detention. But eventually, even I have a breaking point, and I've got to send you to the office. Okay? So keep that in mind. Tardy policy is the same thing. You get 2 warnings. You get 2 lunch detentions. And the 5th one, you get an office referral. I've got a pencil sharpener behind Alexis. All right. It's an electric one. It's a pretty nice one. It's got a replacement policy, so you can sharpen pencils, colored pencils when we color in there, so they're nice and sharp for you. Trash cans front and back. Don't leave your trash everywhere. I will make you pick it up. Don't stick gum to stuff. I let you chew gum. It's gross. Does Virginia want to stick her fingers in gum under a desk? I don't. Okay? Most people don't. Okay? It's nasty to stick your fingers in somebody else's gum. So if you don't want the gum you're chewing anymore, where I want you to put it? In a trash can. Okay? Water fountain is right out in the hallway. Miss Wicker and I are the only 2 teaching on this hallway during this period. As long as you don't ask me 400 times in a class to get water, I'll probably let you get water. Okay? We will most likely not have a fire drill during 3rd period, but if we do, we go out to the big tree towards the central office and we stand there. Tornado, typically we don't have it this period either, but we go in the lecture hall in Miss Rector's room. Cody, we go to the stadium. We haven't had one in a long time. Lockdown, they're getting, so we're trying those more during the day. They're trying to vary them given the number of school shootings they've had. We had one last year during 3rd period and during lunch. Just to get people used to it, we go into the back science hall and we sit on the floor. And I'll direct you if we have one of those. All right. Everybody's had earth science, right? Everybody's had biology. Yes. This could be it for you. Okay? The counselors may try to push you into a 4th science. If you're college bound and you want to go, it looks really good on your transcript to have a 4th science. Okay? But in terms of graduation, you're only required to have 3. So if you pass this one, this can be it. You can say, done, don't want any more. But you have to have this one to graduate. Okay? Here's our grading policy. Tests are 50%. Now, this is where I'm going to get on my soapbox for just a tad bit of today. There is no reason to fail my class. 0 reason to fail my class. There are 2 reasons people fail Ms. Wall's physical science class. And you will hear my reputation around the building and say, oh my God, you should have got Mr. Moore. Cannot believe you got Ms. Wall. You're going to fail. That woman is impossible. You cannot pass her class. There are 2 reasons people fail my class. One is attendance, and they don't bring their butts to school. I can't fix that. That's out of my hands. Okay? I have a login notebook. Where's that? It's in the back. I want you to look at it. Because some of you are going to follow in this category. It says after school sign-in notebook right here. Put your name in it if you come after school. Log in the time you came and the time you left. And every time you log in, I will add up the time and I will submit it to Ms. Glass So if you're out 14 days, if you made up your time, I will submit that time so you get credit for it. Okay? People come, they don't log in. I don't have any time to turn in. But if you start making up work in September and you log in your time, I will submit every bit of that time. Some people are smart and do that. It's here. I put fresh sheets in it last week. The other reason people fail my class is you're absent. What did I say we were doing tomorrow? Anybody pay attention? You're doing an experiment. What am I going to do when we have an experiment? I'm going to take a what? A grade. If you're absent tomorrow, you miss the experiment. What do you got to do? Got to make it up. What do people not do? They don't make it up. So what grade goes in the grade book? 0. Now, if you're absent, you just got to come make it up. But the reason people fail my class is they don't do what? They don't make it up. Okay? So you got to choose. If you're not here, you got to come make it up. If you don't make it up, those zeros start to multiply and snowball. And eventually you get to the end of the quarter and you're like, dang, I got 12 zeros. What am I going to do, Miss Wall? My answer is, I don't know. You got 12 zeros. I've been here. I'm still here. You got to come make them up. But most of the time, it's a bunch of labs. How many of you want to stay after school with me to 4:30 to make up 12 labs? I don't see a lot of hands in the air. Okay? When I tell you this class is hands-on, I mean it's hands-on. Okay? Tests are easy. People come after school and they just guess. Here you go. I'm done. Make a 35 or a 40. Okay? I enter it in the grade book. Tests. I want to tell you right now. Every test you take in here, you can do what? Test corrections. You hear me say it? Every test has test corrections. So, I'm going to pick on John since he's sitting on the front. Let's say John's not a good test taker. He makes great grades on quizzes because it's small amounts of information. He loves the labs, and he does great. But he's got not so great test average. He's like, that's what I want a B. What can he do to get a B? He can do test corrections to get his grade up. Okay? That's all he's got to do. And he's got a great average. Those of you who are clinging to a D, but 58, 59, well, I got to pass. I want to graduate. I want to take this again. Test corrections. It's 50% of your grade. You choose. Okay? There is no reason anybody should fail my class between test corrections and daily work and the rest of it. All you have to do are those two things. But if you don't come to school and you miss all that work and you don't make any of it up, you can almost guarantee you're going to fail. I can't fix that for you. Okay? That's why I have the reputation I do. What does it say at the bottom? There's no extra credit. I'm not giving you extra when you can't do what you're supposed to do. Everybody has to take the final exam. There's no exemptions. And right now we still have the 25-50% rule. We'll see how that goes. We're getting a new superintendent in a week. All right? You need a 3-ring binder. You don't have to have it, but you're going to have a lot of papers to keep track of. You need a notebook of some type, whether it's a 3-ring binder or spiral bound. You're going to have to take notes to keep up. Pens and pencils of your choice. You can use your cell phone for a calculator at home. Can you use your cell phone as a calculator in here? No, I have calculators right there in the box. I'm here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Bathroom passes. This is usually where people get upset with me. All right, you get 3 for the semester. That's from now to the middle of January that you can go to the bathroom free. After you pass that 3, you got to do lunch detention before you all get upset. If I exceed the 3, I'll change the policy. I haven't had to exceed the 3 in 27 years. I've been pregnant twice. I've not exceeded the 3. Okay? I still have my, you know what, ladies? I've not exceeded the 3. Okay? When I have to exceed the 3, I'll change the policy. You have before class, you have lunch, handle it. Now, let's say you need to exceed the 3. All you have to do is lunch detention. It's 10 minutes. If you tell me, that Chase, let's say Chase says, Ms. Wall, I got to go today. He gets a free one today. Tomorrow, he starts his 3. That does not mean you all get to go to the bathroom today. So don't even ask. All right? And he says 3 days in a row, I got to go to the bathroom. Day 4, he's got to do his lunch attention. He says, Ms. Wall, I'm coming during lunch. He doesn't show up. What happens the next day?
He has it the next day.
He what?
Has it the next day.
He can't go to the bathroom until he does what? Until he does lunch attention. If it takes him a week to come do his 10 minutes, he can't go to the bathroom until he does what? Until he does lunch detention. But as soon as he serves his lunch detention, he gets what? His privilege back. He can go to the bathroom as soon as he serves. Are we okay on that? Because I don't want to hear a big stink when we get there. Now, for those of you who say, I don't ever have to go to the bathroom this fall, is there an advantage? Yes, there is. You get bonus points at the end of the year. Added to your lowest test grade. You get 15 points. Okay? If you keep them. A lot of people do. All right, visitors, 3rd period. We always get visitors. You know those school board tours that come around? We're a guaranteed stop off. This room was remodeled 3 years ago. We get the school board every year. So you're usually out of your seats when the school board comes through if I can work a lab in. All right, sometimes we get fellow students. Please don't laugh at them. It drives me nuts. SMOD, I'm sincerely sorry that we have SMOD. There's nothing I can do about it. It's not my rule. It's the school rule. Make sure that you're in SMOD when you're in here. If they come through like they did 1st period, I'll throw you to the wolves, okay? It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. I'm not going to get in trouble because you're not in SMOD. So if Miss Harvey comes through like she did 1st period, it's me or you. And I'm letting them have you before they get me, okay? I'm just going to be real. Sorry. I've got to follow the rules. You got to follow the rules. If it was up to me, there'd be no SMOD. But I'm not the one who's in charge of that policy. So wear what you're supposed to wear so we all stay out of trouble. And the school board was on a tear about the fact that the high school can't manage their SMOD policy. That's why we're getting all this heat, in case you're wondering where it's coming from. All right? Cell phones are not allowed in class. Keep them put up. If I see them, I will ask that they be placed on my desk. If it's a repetitive problem and I cannot manage to get you to lay it on my desk, if first of all it's laid on my desk, you get it back at the end of class. I'm not going to turn it in. I'm not going to keep it. But if I have to ask you and you refuse, then it becomes an administrative problem and they can come get it. Okay? Now, normally I let you charge and I don't mind, but based on that announcement today from Ms. Harvey, or Ms. Curry, I don't remember who said that, I would not charge my cell phone in here right now before they take it. Okay? They said if they saw it out, they'd take it. So I would not charge. I should not see headphones or earbuds for any reason at any time. All right? We have new lab facilities in here. They're brand new. They're 3 years old. They're in stellar shape. Please be very kind to them. Do not write on them. There should be no writing. There's some goo on a couple of them from the custodians this summer. I don't know what that stuff is. I can't get it off at the moment because I've only got one hand. When you're at the counters and you move the scales, try not to drag them. Pick them up if you want to move them. Try not to scratch them. The trash, do not put trash in the sinks. They're not trash receptacles. Put them in the trash can. And you'll see that long silver bar with a triangle on it. That is a shower. If you pull that, A, I'm going to be really pissed. But secondly, that is a 2-inch water pipe, and that water is going to come out really fast, and it's going to spray in a 5-foot radius. You are going to be wet, and so is everything around you. Okay? Please do not pull that. Leave it alone. All right. Any questions? Anything I didn't cover that you need to know? No? Fabulous. Then if you will, we're going to talk measurement for a moment. So find your paper, pens, pencils, whatever it is you brought today to be able to work with. Okay? All right. So we're going to talk about measurement a little bit today. I'm going to have you out of your seats shortly. All right. First of all, measurement is a unit of defined size. Okay? It's a unit of defined size. Now, tell me something that you know about measurement. Give me some units you know. Anybody? Be brave. Don't bite.
PSI.
Huh?
Per square inch.
Pounds per square inch. Okay, PSI. All right, that one's fairly technical for what I was hunting for there, but PSI stands for pounds per square inch. All right, there are two of them in there I thought you might give me. What are the two that are in that I thought you might give me? Inch is one. Pounds is one. All right, now that we have those two, can you give me some other units you can think of? All right, milliliters is not one I was thinking you might give me, but I'll write it down. Okay, I got centimeters. What else? I got milliliters. What else we got?
Foot.
Foot.
Yard.
What else? Can you give me a couple more? What?
Mile.
Mile. I heard kilo something, but I couldn't hear the rest of it. All right, that's good enough for what I want to ask you next. All right. How are these different?
Some are longer than the other.
Okay. I'm looking for something different than that. How are these different? And I will tell you, I put them in a different grouping there. The ones above the green line are different than the ones below the green line. Any idea how they're different? They are, but what? All right, one of them is metrics and one of them is not. Can you tell me which grouping is metrics and which one's not? The bottom is metric. All right, these are metrics. And these are English. Okay? Now, when I say English, English means we use them here in the United States. Now, I'll write that down on the next board because I'm running out of space there. All right, is everybody caught up? Am I giving everybody enough time? All right, so when I say, English, I mean units used only in the U.S. Okay? So, when we use things only here in the United States, we refer to those as English units. So, things that y'all yelled out. You might use, for example, gallon. We do not use gallons in science class. We do not use cups to measure anything in science class. We do not use, what else are we not going to see? We're not going to see pounds that you guys used in science class. We're not going to see, let's see, y'all have anything over here? You might see some inches. You might see yards or miles when we do velocity. What else did you yell out? I thought I heard something a second ago. Pints. You're not going to see pints. Okay? None of those things are going to be something you're going to see in science class. Now, we're going to focus on metrics. Okay? Metrics are the units used by scientists. And for the next 18 weeks, y'all are essentially scientists. So we're going to use metrics. Okay? Now, we're going to have a very brief overview or review of those units. And I do mean brief. Just to make sure that everybody remembers what the abbreviations stand for, because you're going to see the abbreviations. Okay? Jacob, you got it? You really gonna make me take it?
No.
All right. So metrics are base 10. All right. But we're not going to convert anything with metrics. So if you forgot metrics are base 10, it's okay. It's not important for what we're going to do today. So does anybody remember any of the prefixes for metrics other than what we've already yelled out? Can you give me any of the other names? Give me some of them that we've yelled out today. If I flip back, can you tell me some of the prefixes? Okay, that has two parts to it. Okay, was it William? Okay, give me just the prefix. Kilo, milli, centi. Okay, do you guys remember from elementary school how your elementary school teachers helped you remember the prefixes? Anybody? It was a cutesy little sentence that your, I'm guessing probably K-5 teachers helped you learn. Nobody remembers? This is a stupid sentence. All right. Let me see if I put this up here if you remember the sentence. Okay. Okay. Anybody remember the sentence they taught you to help you keep those in order when you were in elementary school? How do you know who's bigger or who's smaller? Everybody remember who's bigger or who's smaller? Is Killy bigger or is Millie bigger? Millie's what? It's smaller. Okay. As you go down, they get smaller. If I tell you it had to do with milk, does it ring any bells? Huh? Anybody? No? I got nothing? King. You can say Hector. Most people use Henry.
Died by,
Drinking chocolate milk.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, no.
Right.
drinking chocolate milk. Okay? That's how you remember the order. Now, that's not all that important because I'm not going to make y'all convert, but I just want to see if you remembered it. Now, you have to remember the abbreviations because you got to know the units, okay? The units are our focus. You guys are going to learn word problems for roughly 9 weeks of our 18. And if you can recognize the units in the word problems, you can figure out which formula to use. That's our focus. That's why we're talking units today and tomorrow, okay? So if you see a unit, you got to know where it goes. For example, is this a distance? Is that a distance? Or is that a distance? Okay? You got to know which one's which. That's why we're talking about this. Only one of those is a distance. Not all of those are. So, when we look at this, can you tell me the abbreviation for kilo? Anybody remember the abbreviation for kilo? Okay. The abbreviation for hecto? For deca? All right, this one is DA. Deci is. Centi is. And milli is M. Now, remember, there are two letters. The first one is the prefix. And then you have a base. So it's a prefix and a base. So where does the base sit in this description? It sits where? It sits on the baseline. Okay? So our base units, we're only going to use 3 of them, are going to be meter, liter, and gram. Okay? So we're going to use meter, liter, and gram. So if I write HM, you have to be able to tell me what HM stands for. What does H stand for? Hecto. What does M stand for?
Milli.
Okay. Prefix and then base. Once you did hecto, it's not a red anymore. It's now something on the baseline. So what's the base from there? Meter. Alexa, so you look like you have a phone in your lap. Now, I could be completely wrong. I said I could have been completely wrong. Okay? So, are we okay on how I did that? All right. So let's say I have DAG. So what is DA? Deca. All right. And then the last letter comes from where again? The base. So what base unit? And then we write gram. Now, in order to just be a meter, how many M's would we have to just be a meter? I heard the answer. To just be a meter, it would be 1. 1 M is meter. To be millimeter, I need how many M's? 2. And I want to point that out because that's a common mistake. Okay, 1 M is meter, but to be millimeter, I need 2 M's. Does that make sense? Everybody with me on that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, how many people do I have? Good, we got 20 people. Nice even groups of 2. Now, I don't want to use the lab station behind Alexis, okay? Because I want all of my groups to be at 5 stations so that we have groups of 2 or really we have groups of 4, all right? Because I want you to do something that I haven't taught. I want to see what you remember or what you can figure out, okay? Because I'm going to talk about it if you don't remember it. Now, take your paper with you, okay? So that you can write it down because I'm going to ask you questions. Now, be very careful and don't break the equipment. Sit down for a second. Let me give you the instructions. I'll put it up here. All right. Now, on the counter, first of all, are several pieces of equipment. I've not told you what any of it is. I want to see what you remember, okay? I want you to try to determine what each piece of equipment is and what it's used to measure, okay? So I want you to find it. So I want you to find its name, what it measures, and the unit for each, okay? So you're essentially finding out 3 pieces of information on each. Its name, what it measures, and the unit for each, okay? You think you can do that? Because there's only 4 pieces of equipment at each station, okay? All right. Can you find one person in here to work with so there's 2 people at every station, or do I need to find you a partner? Can you do it, or do I need to do it? You can do it. All right, go. Sometimes I'll choose, sometimes I'll let you choose. Yeah, that was mine. Some of us cannot count. I got 2, I got 2, I got her. So I got 2, 2, 2. I should have 2. So I need 2, you 2, come over here to be at this counter over here. So my 2 gentlemen over there. Come on. Put the stool back. You will not die for 10 minutes. There you go. 120. They're ringing the bells at the same time as last year. I mean, no, that would be the second lunch bell there. Yeah. So it should be 120.
I don't know. It's like a measuring.
You don't have to measure anything. I'm just asking you what piece of equipment it is.
I don't know.
You can just not write it down. Just put it on. I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. I'm just checking to see what you do know and don't know. See if you can figure out what unit it's on.
I'm calling the measuring.
So we only need
It's me.
I don't even know what's and this is what it was.
Oh, I thought that had a. It's still because it's a game.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. You had about some soft line or whatever. And I guess you didn't expect me to lie or whatever. And so I just haven't been saying on nothing. I can't say on nothing. And I guess it's like, oh, push those shit back. You're not looking like I
But I could hang it. Because I was texting the but yeah, but it was looking like that. I was like, because I thought because Brady wasn't from seeing her post. So I looked at his post and so I said text. And I was like, I said, hey, bro. So I said, hey, wait, I said, girl, I'm not today. And then I
All right, if we had time to try,
no, can you give us 1 minute?
all right, I'll give you 1 more minute. If you don't know what it is, you just don't know what it is. It's okay. I was looking to see what you did and didn't know. It's okay if you don't know.
I'm done, I guess.
All right, how's it? Let's see what you came up with. All right. I think I'm missing one. Temperature. That's what I'm missing.
Hold up.
I didn't give you that
I
one.
didn't go that far.
All right. And I'll give you a minute to write that. Now, I didn't give you a couple of those because I thought they were fairly obvious. And I will give you one of those pieces tomorrow when you do this in lab. Because today I didn't have you measure anything. You'll be measuring things tomorrow with the equipment. All right, so can anybody tell me what piece of equipment over there was used to find mass? Okay, the scale is a generic name for it. Can you give me the official name for it? What?
Triple E.
Triple beam
Scale.
balance. There you go. All right, it's called a triple beam balance. Now, is there anybody in here who has not used the triple beam balance before? No, we've all used it? Okay, so tomorrow, does everybody know how to use it? Or did y'all just play with it and never knew how to use it? Everybody knows how to use it tomorrow?
No.
No. Okay. All right, so tomorrow, when you need to do this, okay? And if you need help tomorrow, I'll be glad to help you, okay? But first of all, make sure all your weights are back, and most of the scale should be zeroed, meaning the two lines should line up. If they don't and they're really close, it's fine. You don't have to mess with them. All right, let's say we weigh the stapler, okay? Now, which weight out of the three should you move first?
Big.
The big one, okay? And you should move it. Now, and this is the mistake a lot of people make. They don't move it until it falls into a groove. You have to move it until it falls into a groove. They just sort of prop it. It's got to be in one of these little holes. And you move it until what happens? Hopefully I didn't pick something too heavy. I might have. Oh, all right. So it falls down. Once it falls down, what do? I go back one because that's saying it's not 500 grams. 500 grams is too heavy. So you go back one. All right. Now what do? You move the second biggest, which is the tens weight. And you move the tens weight until what happens? Until it falls. Oops, I'm getting close. All right, so again, that's too heavy, so I do what? Move it back one. And then I do this one, and a lot of times I'll use my pencil. Because I think it's easier than using my finger sometimes. Because I can just bump it. All right, so I have a 60 on the back. It's pointing to 60 on the back. It's pointing to 400 there. And here I have a 2 there, a 3 there. And it's pointing at that. All right, so how are we going to write that weight down on your paper tomorrow? How are you going to write that?
2 grams.
All right, so what do? This big 400 block and that 60 block. What do you do with those first? You add. So you have 400, 60, and then what do you do with this 2 and that 3. Do you use the 2 or do you use the 3?
3.
You don't go to the 3 because the 3 is not at the 3 yet. You use the 2. So you use the 2. And these little tick marks are what? Those are decimals. So point,
8.
how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 462.8. Okay, now if you get stuck on that tomorrow, if you and your partner don't know how to do that, what should you do? Ask, and I will come over and help you. Okay, because on Thursday, we're going to do an all-day lab, late Wednesday, Thursday on density, and you've got to be able to use the scale. Okay, so if you don't know how to do that, get help. Because part of Wednesday I'll be missing at the end because I've got to go to, I've got my cast off during my planning period and I go to physical therapy during your class at the end. So let's see if I can get that out of there without erasing too much. There we go. All right, so did anybody find a unit on the scale? Grams, okay? So the unit for mass is grams. Now, can you give me another unit for grams other than just grams in case I ask for more than one on the quiz on Wednesday? Got a quiz Wednesday.
What?
What? What's the unit for mass besides grams? Put a prefix on the front. Kilowatt.
Kilogram.
Sure. Now, let's say you have a senior moment and you forget kilogram on the quiz. What else could you have put on the front? What? Milligram. Any prefix on the front of gram works. All right? All you got to do is change the prefix on gram and you're good to go. All right? Volume. This is the one y'all kept going. I don't remember the name. All right. The beaker was out there. Can you find volume of the beaker? Can't find volume of the beaker. All right. So how can you find volume? That tube thing. Anybody remember its name? No. What shape is it from math class? It's a cylinder. It's got lines on it. So it's called a graduated cylinder. Called a graduated cylinder. All right. Did anybody find the units on the side of it? What? Milliliters was the unit that was on the side. Now, that's not the only unit we can use for volume. I heard somebody else yell another one. Liter will work. All right. You might even use cm cubed. If you've seen that one, it might have been on there. I'm not sure. Centimeters cubed would be on there. Liter, milliliter are the most common. All right. Length. What y'all find out there? Sure. Ruler. Some of y'all are familiar with this one. What's this one called? Not a yardstick. It's close. In a science classroom. What do we call these? It's got 3 point something more inches. Instead of a yardstick, it's a what kind of stick? A meter stick. Okay? All right, so what are some units we might use?
Inches.
You're on English. Switch it up. Switch it up. Look at the name. Meters. All right. I heard something out there. What'd you say? Centimeters. What else? Millimeters. Okay. Any derivative of meter. Change your prefix. All right. Time. How can you measure time? Any kind of clock. Doesn't have to be a clock. We use what else? What are we going to use lots when we do speed, velocity, acceleration? What kind of stopwatch? That's one of the times I will let you use your cell phone in class if you have a timer. All right? Because I have some, but sometimes I'll let you use your, particularly when we chew gum and calculate your acceleration and deceleration of chewing. Anybody not able to chew gum? Who? I mean, I'll give you a different task to time your acceleration, deceleration. I just typically chew gum for that because most people like to chew gum. So is there anybody who can't? So I don't have any no's out there. Okay. All right. So what time units can we use? So what time units are we going to see in the word problems? What? What'd you say? Time. What time units might we see? Chase, give me a time unit. How do we measure time? Minutes?
Minutes, hours, seconds, days,
All are time units. All right. How do we measure temperature?
Celsius.
All right. Those are units. All right. How do we measure it?
Thermometer.
All right. Can y'all spell it?
No.
All right. All right. It's thermo. How do you spell thermo? T-H-E-R, thermo. All right. Thermo. And then it's meter. How do you spell meter? That's thermometer. It's a thermometer. Questions? You got it? All right, let's see what you know. I'm not going to take it down yet. Now we're going to see how good y'all are with clicking and dragging. Now, with the exception of learning how to read some equipment tomorrow, everything that we've just done is what's on your quiz Wednesday. Okay? Everybody with me on that? Yeah. Does everybody have what they want off the board? So I'm going to minimize and pull something else up. I don't need to go into Z-scaler. Away. All right, so I have a bunch of stuff at the bottom. I don't know if I have 20 individual things there at the bottom, but I have several. And I'll be able to call them the vast majority of you. And I'm going to ask that you come up and drag something into the correct location. Now, all you have to do is grab something, touch it, and drag it to where it goes. Now, if you accidentally do that, just tap off of it and it goes away. But if you do that, tap off of it. But you should just have to touch and drag. You got it? Okay, let me find my seating chart so that I got some faces to go with names. I can start learning some beeps. All right. Raul, go find one up there, put it where it goes.
Is it?
All right. We have Sierra. Okay. Let me have Anna Lucia. Okay. Let me have Chase. Good.
Wait, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, go back for a second. Can you slide linked units, the title back over where it was? There you go. All right. Let me have John Hernandez. Good. How about Nathan? That's Nathaniel. What do you go by? Nathaniel.
I'm on the.
Okay.
Oh, wrong one. Hold up a minute. Okay.
That's good. That's much better. We're worried for a second. Alright, how about mine? I know it's a long walk.
It was.
I'm so glad. Very nice. Hey, touch the board while you're there through that box. There you go. Let's have Jacob.
My son.
What?
Alright. How about Damien? How about Alexis? All right, what did you move up there, Alexis? I didn't see.
The CM3.
The what?
CM3.
CMQ is good. How did that ML get up there under length?
Damn,
Me.
equal percent.
Please, sir.
All right, that's got to move.
And y'all ain't told me?
I didn't notice it. That must have happened when Zoe came in.
No one tell me.
And then Mr. Jessup came in and asked me if I would be kept out. I answered yes. This will be why. Okay, leader. What does ML stand for?
Leader.
That's a milliliter. Liters is a what? Is that a mass or a volume?
Volume.
That's a volume.
Well, don't be listening to me.
I thought you was right.
No, you thought wrong.
Liters are volume units, okay? This is why we're doing this. So when we're working a density problem, okay? So when we're working a density problem tomorrow, is a milliliter gonna go in the mass spot or is it gonna go in the volume spot?
Volume.
It's gonna go in the volume spot. All right, how about Virginia? What's that one say? I know it's in yellow, but centimeters, yes, that's good. All right, how about Brianna, since she's, Brianna, since she's so helpful?
It's just sitting right here like nobody was gonna put what it's supposed to be. It's the easiest one. Girl. Cause it's all my bag. Yeah. There you go.
All right, let's see. Who did I talk to?
What?
Ashani.
You gonna see my shit. Yes, I got some smart everything.
Maybe you should get Blu-ray to the art that you don't need. You still want to?
Yes, very good. How about Mr. East? Good. And Roy? Good. And I need one more. How about Caleb? You do the last one? There you go. Like, you look rather well put together for somebody your age. All these children. Good. All right, questions? Anybody have a question? All right. Right there. Let's see what's next on my agenda. Normally the agenda's on the board, but I can't write it up there because I promised my husband I would not cling like a lizard to the wall with my broken arm. Because normally I stand up there and hold on to the wall with my step stool. But for those of you who don't know, I fell off a sidewalk and broke my wrist in 2 places. So I don't believe I need to be on a step stool. Your right one?
And you
Right-handed?
were on the sidewalk as well. You must have been.
I wasn't. That's the sad part. My husband sent me to an auto parts store when it was raining really hard because his windshield wiper broke on the truck and I happened to be in Greensboro. I said, sure, I'll go by and get it, no problem. And it was a slope sidewalk. Only wasn't marked. It was a slope sidewalk. And I just didn't pick my feet up high enough. And I'm klutzy that way. Never mind. It's too much work. You had one of those, everybody.
I would have.
Huh?
I would have.
You would have?
Yeah,
Oh.
but don't get lazy.
Will you hand out the rulers then? Thank you so much. You know, I realize I'm only gonna have you for a couple days here, so
One day.
one day.
Or 2. I don't know. When is Floyd coming back?
I don't know. I didn't know she was out. I knew Miss Wells was because her daughter doesn't start kindergarten until tomorrow, but I didn't know Miss Floyd was out.
Well, now you think.
All right, so Alexis is giving you the Remind app if you want to join. All right, I recommend it. You certainly don't have to. It's not one of those types of things. All right. Now, the paper that Jacob handed you is the thing that we're going to work on the last part of class. Now, lots of things we're going to do this quarter and semester require you to measure things. Now, today we're going to do with rulers. If we have time, we're going to do the little graduate cylinders and scale. I don't think we'll have time, but we'll do that first tomorrow, and then we'll roll into the mini lab. So, using the ruler. Most of these rulers, back. All right, matter of fact, I don't need to go in the trash. That's not even good for anything but a straight edge. On the ruler, does everybody have inches and centimeters on the ruler? Now, on your ruler, no one should be reading in inches. every time we measure anything with a ruler, we're always reading metrics. So when you look at the ruler, let me grab another one. The side that I have at the top is what side?
Inches.
That's the inch side. So you want to be on the side that has more lines on it. Now, everybody always tells me when I get into this that it's reading in millimeters. Yes, it is reading in millimeters if you're counting each of the itty bitty lines. Now, if you're reading the whole numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's reading in what? It's reading in centimeters, okay? So, if it asks you to draw, come on now, I already told beside me.
It's not so great. I can say that now. Okay.
So, if we are asked to draw a line of 5 centimeters, we're drawing a line from the end to where my finger is at 5. Does that make sense? If they ask for 5 millimeters, we're drawing a line from the end to 5 of those itty bitty lines. So we're drawing a line from the end of the ruler to where the tip of my finger is right there. Does that make sense?
To the longer part.
Okay? Does that make sense, everybody? All right, I'm going to roam around amongst you and answer questions to see what you can do with this on the front and the back. It's very short. We should be able to do it and go over it before the bell rings. Okay?
You said, so what is it?
Where's what at? Okay, because it's saying millimeters, you want 10 of the itty bitty lines.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
So what you mean by number 5?
What's number 5 say?
What part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter?
So 1 millimeter is how many in a centimeter?
Right. What?
It says what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter is how much of 1 centimeter. It's 1 out of how many? Okay. Look back at number 4. How many millimeters are there in 1 centimeter?
4.
Okay, you're counting wrong then.
How many is supposed to be 5?
No,
10.
there's 10.
Where y'all 16? Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're counting from, let me use your pencil. You're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's 10. So when I said what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter, it's 1 out of how many? 1 out of what you have right there. So how do you write 1 out of 10? In math class, how would you write 1 out of 10? It's okay. They're all in this class today. It's okay. So what part is 1 millimeter out of a centimeter? It's 1 out of that 10 we just counted, right? So how do you write in math class? If you're sitting in math class, yes, or you could do it as a decimal. Either way would be fine. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? We're doing? So, yeah, you wrote it as a decimal. Either one would be fine. All right, did you get it, Mike? What do you have? Let me see.
I don't know if I got
Okay, that's 10. So 1 out of how many? How do you write that? Yes, exactly.
For number 5?
Yes,
Oh.
exactly. Exactly, just like that.
But yeah, we was there when y'all played walking time. We was there.
All right, who else has a question? William, Patrick? Caleb? Patrick? How about over here? All right, count your lines. All right, so when you're doing the center, you're counting this line, to that one. How many little big lines do you have here and there?
Right, two, we was laughing at it.
Oh, man.
Where'd you get one?
I gotta review this. I did it though.
Nice, these counts, folks.
I was doing it this way.
Exactly.
1, 2,
I did extra.
4. That's fine. How long do I go? 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. Okay? So what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter? Okay? So that's 1 millimeter is 1 out of how many? So how do we write? It's 1 out of 10. So in math class, how would you write? It's 1 out of 10. Yes. Or you could write it as the decimal, if you wanted to write it as the decimal. Okay? Nathaniel, you okay with that?
What you got?
Are you sure?
Like what?
All right. How many lines did you get when you counted in the centimeters? Figure out how many millimeters there were. 10. Count the long line. So instead of being 9, there's 10. So when you say
Let y'all cut.
how many 1 millimeter is how many in a centimeter, it's 1 out of how many? 1 out of 10. How do you write 1 out of 10? Okay, that one is
That's more.
10. Because I was asking number 5.
Yeah, make your own poem.
All right.
I said,
So the next was the one we're talking about. See how the question says what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter? Because I'm on number 5. This question, 10, is done. When you counted all these little lines between here and here, that was 10. That one you made, you said 9, you corrected it. Okay, that one's done. This one, what part of a centimeter is 1 millimeter? Yes. 1 out of how many of those? So you're right. 1 out of 10. Here, that's what we're trying to tell you, is a different question. You were trying to make them both fit number 4. Okay. So that's the part I couldn't get you on, it was a different question. All right. All right. This is saying here, this 1 millimeter that's right there is 1 out of how many of those lines in 1 centimeter? It's 1 out of 10. So how do you write 1 out of 10? Yes, that's what it's asking. Yes. What? What does that say? Problem. Yes. What did you ask? You do the back? Yes. You guys do the back also. What am I trying to trick you with?
Right here, it's not like it's not no 6 on 6.
That's right. You gotta read decimal. So 6 point what? Count the little line. 6 point how many packs? Because when you do this live tomorrow, it might not be exactly on the line. My little blocks of wood might not be on the line. Or my pieces of styrofoam. Okay? Good? Got a question? What's wrong? Okay. You can either lay this here. It should ring at 120 based on the other bells. Stop panicking about one. Okay? So you lay it there. And you can either count all those itty bitty lines, or you can say 5 centimeters And 5 times how many millimeters were in a centimeter? How many? And 10, so 5 times 10 will be 50, right? That's the shortcut way. Okay? Good, hang on, so we're getting ready to go over it. All right, can we go over it?
Yep.
Hey, I know some of you are still in the back, but we've only got a couple minutes before bell's gonna ring because that schedule they gave us is not what they're ringing it by. They're using last year's schedule. So, did everybody draw a line that only goes from there to there? Where my fingers are.
Yeah.
Okay? Did everybody draw a line that only goes from there to there?
Yeah.
And then when we get to this last one, we draw a line that goes from there to there, nice and short. Okay, what'd you notice about that one and that one? What'd you notice about A and B?
The same thing.
They're the same thing. All right, I went around the room and I tried to answer that as many times as I could. 1 centimeter has how many millimeters? 10. 1 millimeter is 1 of how many centimeters? 1 out of 10. So you could either have said 1 over 10, or you could have said 0.1, decimal 1. Either answer is acceptable. All right, number 6. What'd you get?
50.
50. What'd you get here?
30.
Okay, you take 5 centimeters and multiply by 10, 3 centimeters and multiply by 30. These are going to be decimals for the most part. They're not going to be exact. Your answer does not have to match mine exactly. I'm getting somewhere around 6.6. 6.5 is good. All right, this one's somewhere around, because I'm just estimating. I'm not trying. 2.1. 2.1. If you're close, 2.2, it's fine. All right, length and width. Does it matter which side you label length and width? No, it does not. Typically, most people make the longer side length and the shorter side width, but it does not matter. It looks like the length is 7 point. I just moved it. Looks like it's around 7.1. So 7.1 and 71. And the width looks like 4.3 or 4.4. So either 4.3 and 43 or 4.4 and 44. Okay, if yours is not exact, is that an issue? No. Now, if you put 4.1 and 41, that's a little low. But it should be pretty close to what I called out. All right? Now, I'm not assigning homework tonight. You have a quiz on Wednesday. So you know yourself as a student. If you know learning units and memorizing those parts is hard for you, what should you do tonight? You should study. If you know that you've seen it once and you'll have it, you'll be okay, then do you need to study tonight? No. You know yourself better than I do. So you decide. Now, make sure we stay in a chair until the bell rings. That's my pet peeve. Alright, can y'all hand me rulers? Don't put it right on the floor. Y'all can hand me rulers, I would appreciate it.
You're about free. What?
It's not.
Right.
No problem. Easy on your earplugs there.
not going home. If I go home, I'm not coming back.
Are we back here?
Doesn't matter. We can.